Good morning, y'all. And welcome back to another episode of Randa's Crafty Vlog. We're back at home. We're back doing normal things. Thank God. So it is Monday, October 17th, 11:09 a.m. I have a lot to do today. I'm very excited about it though. I have realized that for the last, a couple of weeks, I think, that last week I was in California, and the week before that I was sick, and the week before that it was something else. I've been slacking just a little bit with, oops, sorry, I just bumped my mic, with my business for the past couple of weeks. And for anybody else who owns a business and understands this, when you slack in your business, what's the word? When you slack, it shows, And so I am that's it. I need to get back on my game again. And so that's what we're doing this week. This week is all about getting back on my game again. I'm on the wrong stand. No wonder it looks freaking weird. Hold on. I have a stand there we go. I have a stand that my phone just sits on there during the day, and then I have a stand that I film on. So I had it on the wrong stand. Anyway, it looks much better now. I was like, why does it look like you're staring at my nose? Anyway, so I have decided I'm making it happen. I've been saying I've been wanting to release the candles for a couple weeks. I've decided I'm making it happen. So on Monday, what day is that? Monday, I need a calendar. This next Monday. So not today, because today's Monday, but a week from today, Monday the 24th, October 24th, 2022, I'm releasing the candles. That's it. I'm releasing them. So, because I have everything all figured out and stuff, I just need to do it. I need to take product photos. I need to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm very excited. And for anybody who hasn't heard my theory on Randa, you're a diamond painting company. Why in the world are you selling scented candles? What does that have to do with anything? Let me tell you, my theory on this is that we do diamond painting for self-care, right? For relaxing, for, mental health purposes, all that good stuff. I don't know about you, but I always have a candle around me. It helps with mental health. It helps with self-care. It helps with all the good things. So I have them all over my house. They're self-care. Just like a bubble bath, to me, they're self-care. And so I know a lot of people who will light a candle while they diamond paint. I'm one of those people. And it just adds to the ambiance of the whole thing. And so I thought, I sell diamond painting accessories. In my opinion, a candle is a diamond painting accessory. And I'm adding another layer to it because I'm using the same scents in the candles that I use in my putty. So if you are using, for example, watermelon, my scent named watermelon. If you're using my watermelon scented putty, you can buy a watermelon scented candle, and then you can match your putty to your candle, and it enhances the smell and the experience because you can match the scents together, or you can mix match scents, whatever you feel like, and have a nice little experience. So it's to me, it makes sense. I hope it makes sense to y'all, but that's my whole thought process behind this, is that it's still diamond painting related. I'm not just making candles just to make candles. They have a diamond painting purpose. So yeah, those will be released on Monday. I'll have them available in cotton wicks and wood wicks. I don't think I've exactly nailed down a price yet. I want to do a little bit more math, but I'll let you guys know as that gets closer. They do come in little mason jars. They're very cute. But yeah, that's what's happening. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, today I want to make little, because I've done tester candles before, but I've never made a true mock-up of my candle for product photos and make videos about it and all that good stuff. So I'm going to make mock-up candles today, and I'm going to take product photos, and I'm going to do all the good stuff. And then I have a lot of other plans in the works in terms of, I'm going to try to up my marketing a little bit. And then I want to get out a beginner cross stitch pattern. I think I've mentioned this on the vlog before, where what I want to do is my biggest feedback. For those of you who don't know, I did like 6 months ago, I think, or 4 months ago, something like that. I did release my very first cross stitch pattern. I designed it myself, cross stitch pattern. And the biggest feedback that I got from that is, oh my God, I see you cross stitch all the time and I love your pattern and whatever, but I have no idea how to cross stitch. It's very intimidating. I don't even know where to start. That was the thing that I heard the most. And so I was like, you know what? Let's solve that, right? Like that's what I seem to be doing with my business, is finding things like, not like problems or whatever, but problems in the community and solving them. That's what I did with the putty, that people wanted an alternative and they wanted something that also smelled good. You're creating something that doesn't exist yet. So I'm doing a version of creating something that doesn't exist yet, because obviously beginner cross stitch patterns exist. Here's where I'm making it a little different. Of course, I'm going to design it myself, and the kit is going to come with everything that you need. Hoop, hopefully a cover minder, needle, thread, fabric, everything. And I'll have, what I'm planning on doing is using my own kit to film a video about how to cross stitch. And within the kit, you'll get like a little QR code or a little link or something that will lead you to that video that I'm going to make about exactly how to cross stitch using the kit that you're holding in front of you. So I'm going to teach you from step 1 to step 100, to the finished product of exactly how to cross stitch, and then how to take the knowledge that you've learned using a kit, and then you're able to go buy independent patterns and stuff. So you can buy the patterns separately, floss separately, whatever, instead of, I remember when I first started cross stitching, I felt like it always had to be in a kit or it was very confusing. So it's like, I plan on, as somebody who started off diamond painting and then taught herself how to cross stitch, I'm going to teach y'all how to cross stitch. And you use a very cute, simple pattern as your very first kit, and then you can move on to other designs and stuff like that. I know it's not diamond painting related, but this is not just a diamond painting shop. This is a crafting shop. This is a crafting channel. So I want to do that. I have like a plan to do that. I have some of the like steps set up in order to make that happen, but I just need to go make it happen. So that is going to be in the works here in the next couple of weeks. And also my longest term plan, that's probably going to take the longest, is that I want to release my own licensed diamond paintings. I know a lot of people in the community are now releasing licensed diamond paintings. It was something that when I first started diamond painting was very rare. Being able to find licensed diamond paintings, there were only 3 or 4 companies that did it. So I know it's less rare now, but I still want to be a part of it. I refuse to have unlicensed kits. I refuse to have kits that aren't to an up-teen standard of quality. Therefore, that's going to take time, that's going to take money, that's going to take whatever. I want to work with artists that have a good background and a good story and good artwork and a good mission behind what they're trying to do with their brand and their whatever, and that nobody's ever seen before. So it's that's all, there's contracts, there's manufacturing, there's the actual legality that goes into licensed artwork. I'm working on it. I've thankfully gotten some really amazing help from other people who sell licensed diamond paintings in the community, of just like even stuff as simple as like, where do you start? Like, where do you go to find a manufacturer? And do you need a lawyer to write these contracts, or can you write them yourself? Like simple things that I just had no idea where to even begin. I've gotten a little help with that, which I'm like forever grateful for. Thank you for this freaking community. And so it's like, but that's going to be a much longer term process because it's going to take a hot minute. So like that's one of my longer term plans. That's not going to come for a while, but that's one of my longer term plans. And I would also at some point, I have it over here on my to-do list. I really want to start a monthly subscription service through Patreon. I want to be able to do like a monthly subscription service for my putty to do, you get like a cent of the month or some shit that doesn't get like released in the normal like restocks and stuff, something exclusive, something where you can sign up for a monthly subscription. I've heard a lot of people that want that. So it's like, I want to do that as well. That's also a work in progress. It's like, I have a lot of things in the making right now. So I'm trying to like do a little bit of each, but also just like kind of focus one at a time, and then do the next, and then do the next, and then do the next. So first is the candles. Those are releasing on Monday. Big deal. So yeah, that's first. And then probably the cross stitch kit is second, maybe Patreon is third, and then my own licensed diamond paintings, because I know that one's going to take the longest. So, and I'll be working on all of that, but just, try to prioritize it a little bit so that I don't get in this like jumbled ADHD mess of I have all these ideas and can't, make it happen. I want to be able to like make it happen. So, this weekend was so nice though. Let me get back to my normal life. This weekend was nice. I picked Perry up like 11 a.m. Saturday morning, and we spent the entire day doing a whole lot of nothing. Big fat nothingville, which was fantastic. And then on Sunday we were like, okay, because we had been away for like a week. Our house was not really in order. Our bags needed to be unpacked. Laundry needed to be done. House needed to be clean. Lawn needed to be mowed. There was a lot of crap that needed to be done. So Perry he mowed the lawn. The headlight in my car needed to be changed, so he did that. He did a bunch of other crap around the house. I can't even remember because he was doing so much stuff. Oh, he figured out. So our doorbell, when we got the house inspected, he was like, yeah, the doorbell doesn't work. We were like, great, fantastic. We have to figure out what's wrong with it. But when we went so Perry like walked around the house and was like, I don't see like the doorbell, like the thing that makes the noise. Like you press a button and the outside, and usually there's a box somewhere in the house that makes the sound. And he's like, we don't have one. Where is it? And so he pulled up, because this wall in my office right next to me is like the front door. It's right there. And so he pulled back the carpet against that wall in my office and found the wire that's connected to the doorbell, but to the like doorbell switch. But once it fed through the house, it wasn't connected to anything. It was just like shoved under the carpet. And so he was like, oh, so there was never a doorbell. Oh, this house has never had a working doorbell. Gotcha. So, we actually ordered a new doorbell, so that we can finally have a working doorbell, which is good. So he was doing a bunch of crap around the house like that. I was cleaning, doing laundry, unpacking our suitcases, whatever. And then that took like all day. And by the time we were done, it was like, you look outside and the yard looks nice, and you look inside and the inside looks nice. And Perry helped me. I did an extra task by I pulled everything out of the fridge and cleaned inside the fridge, because we haven't cleaned the inside of the fridge since we moved in here. And that was 9 months ago we moved in. We bought the house. So I pulled everything out and cleaned it, and we went through together and chose what we needed and what we don't need and what was expired and whatever. So kind of cleaned out the fridge. And so like everything feels like so nice and zen and reset. And like I love it when that happens, because I was like, no, I want to have a really productive week. So I need to like make sure the house is all like clean and set up so that I can feel the most productive possible. And it's working so far. So that was really nice. Like I said, today I'm doing candles and all that fun stuff. I didn't craft at all last week. It was so weird, but I did a little bit of crafting this weekend. Didn't touch my diamond painting yet, but I've touched my cross stitch, and I don't think much has changed since the last time you guys saw it, but I finished all of this wording right here, Opal's boarding house, and then it's like a sign. So this like cream color fills in the whole thing because it's like a banner, you know, it's very similar to like this part right here. So I started filling that in last night. So, and I'm hoping to start working on this more often because I am ready to finish it. I'm ready to finish it. So, yeah, that's it. So that's going well, but I'm hoping to get some more crafting done this week because boy, I haven't done any crafting. So let's do a Reddit story, shall we? Because then I got a lot of crap to do. Let me see. Oh wow, this has a, hold on. I'm just like reading what's showed up on. So as I'm scrolling through, it's so funny. I also follow a subreddit, especially I did very heavily before Perry and I got engaged. I followed a subreddit called Engagement Rings because it was really fun to just see everybody else's engagement rings. And this woman posted a photo of her engagement ring, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really quite ugly. It has like this one giant stone and then this other like stone like right above it. I wonder if I can show you just a little bit. That's what it looks like. Like maybe some people love that, but it's like so not my style. It's like really gaudy. And the title says 2 weeks ago. I think he did okay. It's fine, you know? Sorry, that just caught me really funny. I think it's fine, you know? It's like Perry knew exactly what I wanted when I like sent him a gajillion pictures, and I've known that this is the kind of ring that I wanted. I have a round solitaire. I've known this is the kind of ring that I wanted since I was 12. So like I made sure he knew that that was what I wanted. And so he picked out literally my dream ring. Like I couldn't have picked a better one. And so I always find it so funny and like I bet it happens and it's fine, but I find it funny when when your partner really just has no idea what ring you would like, and they just like get something, and then you're like, oh, that's not really what I would have picked out. Because I'm like, if you're to the point in your relationship where you're getting engaged, like I feel like that's something you should know about your partner before you get engaged. I don't know. And like, of course I know there's stories where people get engaged after like 2 months, and so they have no idea. But like, I'm like, no, I sent Perry hundreds of pictures before he proposed to me. And so it's like, I just think it's like, he did okay. It's all right. Like, shit, you have to wear it for the rest of your life. You better fucking like it. Okay, let's start with this first one that popped up from Am I the Asshole? Because it has a crap ton of upvotes. This was posted 19 hours ago. It says, am I the asshole for making my younger sisters fly home early after they followed my husband? For making my younger sisters fly home early after they followed my husband. Okay. Let me read it. Hold on. I have 2 younger sisters who are 15 and 17. They came to visit my husband and I on what was supposed to be a 5-week trip. Unfortunately, it had to end early after they were caught following my husband while he was having dinner with a client. Ew, creepy. I told them that they had to leave immediately because I could tell my husband was close to exploding, and even though they kept bugging me to hear them out and to let them stay, I wouldn't. I called our dad to let him know they would be coming home early and why, which didn't go over well. My stepmother wanted me to let them stay until the morning so they would fly back in the daytime, but I told her it wasn't possible and they had to leave immediately. Okay, they could have left the next day. You're being a little much. I'm supposed to be visiting soon, but my sisters have told our dad that they don't want to see me and my stepmother, and I wasn't welcome in her house after what I did to them. The reason my husband was so angry was because the client was the one who noticed them taking pictures of them, and when he confronted them, they were rude to her and to him. Am I the asshole? Am I missing something? Because the overall vote on this was asshole. And I don't think that she's the asshole for making... They were like stalking... He was having your husband was having like a meeting with a client. This was like a business meeting. And your 15 and 17-year-old sisters are like following them, taking pictures of them. Like, that's so A, weird, and B, unprofessional for him and his business or whatever is going on. So like, I could see it being like, okay, you could have waited and let them fly home in the daytime or whatever. But like, they were being weird. They were interfering with his business. They needed to go home. Like, I that doesn't sound completely unreasonable to me. That's why I'm like, am I missing something? Let's see what the comments say. Okay, so the top comment says, is it possible his client is an attractive woman and they thought he was cheating on you and were trying to gather evidence? This sounds like something 15 and 7-year-old sisters could do. No? Possibly. There was no mention of that. I figured that if that was the case, that would have been like, because I am curious. They said, where is it? They kept begging me to hear them out and let them stay, but I wouldn't. So you wouldn't even hear them out, which is not okay. So it's like, it's like, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, that would have been like the first thing is I would have, if I was the 15 or 17-year-old, I would have pulled them to the side. Oh, there's something in my eye. I'm so sorry. I would have pulled them to the side and been like, listen, he was out with this attractive woman. It looked like he was cheating. I need to show you. And then it's like, then it would make sense. But it doesn't mention that. And so it's like, I try to take the story at face value of what they're telling me, that it's like they were just following her husband around and the client for like no reason, for some unapparent reason. And they were being creepy and taking pictures of them and like whatever. Okay, so the comment right underneath that says, this is immediately why I thought they'd be following him. And again, while inappropriate, we are talking about teenagers who don't make the best decisions. Perhaps they were concerned about their big sister. Perhaps the husband was going to explode because he did in fact get caught. We don't know, since OP didn't allow them to explain and sent them home. Worst case scenario, it was a bad call on the girl's part, but OP should at the minimum care for their safety. My goodness. That's where it's like, the situation themselves, like in and of itself, that like if they were being malicious and creepy and whatever, then say there's more like business meetings on this trip, then like, yeah, they need to go home because they're going to interfere with more like stuff by being weird and creepy. But you should have heard them out. You should have let them stay until the morning. Like, there's some parts where I feel like we're not hearing the full story. That they gave us like a tiny little snippet, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And then the comment below that says, maybe husband was about to explode because he was about to lose a big client. That's what I was thinking. JFC, just for, I don't know what JFC stands for. A lot of you guys have helped me out with my what the fuck that stands for. So tell me what the fuck JFC stands for. JFC, men and women work together all the time, and some people are attractive. Losing certain clients can mean losing thousands upon thousands of dollars. It isn't a joke. And what those girls did was extremely inappropriate behavior, and I can only imagine that the client was probably pissed off and possibly not interested in working any longer with the husband's company. But personally, if that happened to me, I would be, if that happened to me, I would have been beyond insulted and completely cut ties with him and his company. If any time an attractive person is working with another one, it's reason to stalk them. If any time an attractive person is working with another one and it's reason to stalk them, well, that's insanely inappropriate. That's what I mean, is that like, this wife knows that it was a client. If it was a female, she probably knows, because like that would have been part of all of that. I don't know, that it's like, the only way that I could see this being like appropriate is if the kids were just being dumb kids. They did think he was cheating. I have no idea. And that's the only appropriate situation I can see as to why this is okay. Otherwise, like, these kids are being inappropriate as hell, and so they can't stay. I don't know. Maybe I don't understand, but I don't think she's the asshole. I think she was wrong in the sense that like she should have heard them out and she should have waited until morning to send them back home. Like, been a little bit more reasonable about it, but this comment says, unless OP made them walk to the airport, I don't see the problem here. That's what I was thinking. This one says, I did dumb shit at 15 and 17. I also had to deal with the consequences of the dumb shit I did at 15 and 17. Exactly. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like there might be, because like I said, it was 19 hours ago. So it looks like, yes, there are some comments from OP. Let's read them, because we don't get very much information in that post. This comment says, I don't understand why this big client isn't able to understand that she's a hot woman and this man's 2 teenage sisters-in-law. I don't understand why this big client isn't able to understand that she's a hot woman and this man's who said she was a woman? And these 2 teenage sisters-in-law who didn't know she was his client were doing stupid teenage stuff. I'm sure this woman has much more brains than this, and had they explained and apologized, she would have understood. Maybe that could have actually been a laughing point. Who blows up a deal because of that? Or maybe it was not really a good deal. I'm not defending these 2 girls in the slightest, just don't understand why would this be such a big deal for a grown-ass woman after they've apologized. So much for understand and forgiveness. And OP responds and says, because the people who work with my husband expect a certain level of professionalism and aren't interested in dealing with stupid teenage stuff. Also, they never apologized to her. They were rude to her, which only made it worse. Okay, so it was a woman, the business partner, the client, because they never specified if the client was a girl or not, at least not that I remember. So it's like the client was a girl, so maybe that was what the teenager's thought process was, but like OP obviously knew it was a girl, knew it was a business partner, like it's not a... and then the next comment, I really don't want to read this whole big thing because it doesn't really matter. OP responds and says, he didn't lose the deal because he did damage control and the client's husband likes working with my husband, so he took over. I don't hate them. If I did, I would have asked my dad to come visit me alone instead of planning to go see them. What is going on with my freaking eye, man? It's so, like, itchy. And then this comment says, people without rage issues don't explode over stuff like this. And OP responds and says, are you telling me if your relative did something that could cost you the big client you and your family have had a good relationship with for years, potentially lose you a lot of money in future business and hurt your reputation, you wouldn't be furious? I would be. This comment from OP says, I've had a lot of people telling me my husband is 100% cheating on me based on absolutely nothing. It would be annoying if it wasn't so ridiculously funny. Okay, this comment says, info, like everyone else, I want to know why they were following your husband, and for that matter, how, and why you wouldn't hear them out. Even if nothing nefarious was going on with your husband, you should have listened to them and looked at the pictures. I suspect you're either protecting your husband and therefore yourself from judgment, or you're in blind denial. And OP responds to that and said, they think he was acting shady because he was barely home while they were there and he was working. I didn't want to listen to them because I knew they were just going to make excuses for why they did what they did, and it wasn't going to change the situation, as there was no way my husband was going to be okay with them staying after what happened. So they did it because he was acting shady and he was barely home, so they did think that he was cheating. I still would have, like, it's like, I don't think she's the asshole, but I think she could have handled it better. That I think she could have had a conversation with them. I think she could have explained to them. I think she could have heard them out. And either you make an agreement with them that you will not be doing that again while on this trip, or they need to go home. But there's a better way they could have handled it, but that I understand the thought process behind it. There are a lot more comments, but frankly, none of them look all that important. So, that's it. So, yeah, I'm gonna go get some shit done, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Good morning, y'all. It is Tuesday, October 18th. It is 11, exactly 11. I don't have a ton of time. I have to go to therapy, but I am going to do a Reddit story for you real quick. I didn't do any crafting last night. Look at that freaking hair. I didn't do any crafting last night, so I don't have anything to show you. But it sucked because yesterday I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, like, there's so much I want to get done. I'm gonna get so much good stuff done, blah, 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 blah. Like, and then I didn't. And I didn't because I felt like crap. I don't know what was going on with me, that like I was so unreasonably tired, and like if I stood up for too long, I got like lightheaded and stuff, you know, like kind of like the blech when you're sick. I felt like that, except it's like I thought I was kind of done being sick. So that was fun. But I did get some good stuff done yesterday. I'm not going to show you. They are sitting right next to me, but I'm not going to show you yet because I'm going to make a video showing you. I did yesterday, I made the, I don't know what they're not prototypes, but like my personal candles that I used for product photos and whatever. So, and to show you guys and to have for myself. And so I made those yesterday. I made one with a cotton wick and one with a wood wick. That's what I'll be offering in the candles, is a cotton wick or a wood wick. And then, so made those yesterday. And then today I took product photos of them, like literally right before I got on here. I took some photos for the listing. So that's going to be really fun. Today I'm going to therapy, and then I have to go to Walmart because there was something that we forgot, and then I have a couple Amazon returns that I need to go return. But So that'll probably take up the rest of my day, but tomorrow is going to be like filming central. Like there are so many videos that I want to film. I need to do the post review of Pride. I'd like for that to go up this week. I want to film, I have a Just Cross Stitch magazine that I want to film a flip through of. I want to film the candle video. Like it's just going to be like filming central. So, that's part of what's going on tomorrow. But yeah, but I don't, like I said, I don't have any crafting to show you. So I'm just going to read you a Reddit story and then go to therapy. Sound like a plan? Cool. Let's see what Reddit has for us in store today. Oh, am I the asshole for spending my daughter's tuition money? 17 hours ago, 10,000 upvotes. Let's see. Our daughter is 20 female, and she recently decided to go back to college after taking a year off. She dropped out of college after a few months saying it wasn't for her. We adamantly advised against it, but she ended up moving in with her boyfriend and started working in his family's restaurant business. There was still a little north of $30,000 set aside in an account for her tuition money. My wife and I had been wanting to remodel our kitchen for a while, so I decided to go ahead with that money. Well, now my daughter has decided to go back to college because it didn't work out with her boyfriend and she didn't like any of the jobs she had following that. She was shocked that we had used her college money towards the house, even though we had this conversation before she left. She asked if she could access her college tuition account before she moved in with her boyfriend, to which we explicitly said no, and said that was saved for her tuition only and nothing else. You big fat liars and a half. Where was I? Nothing else. And if she left, we'd use it for something else. She said she thought that we were bluffing and didn't actually mean it, and that we need to help her pay for college since we are still paying for her younger brother's yearly tuition. I told her she needs to work part-time and go to a cheap place like a community college rather than a state school. She's been angry over this and ignoring my mother's phone calls, or ignoring her mother's phone calls. Her mother has said maybe we can still help her out financially, but we're nearing our retirement age and a little behind our retirement goals, so I don't want to take away from our savings just because my daughter made some bad choices. I feel like I have given her good alternatives and even offered to let her stay at our house free of rent so she can just focus on paying for college. Am I the asshole? Yes, you're the asshole. Yes, you're the asshole. Listen, the only little amount of saving grace that this guy has, in my opinion, is where it was that money was saved for her tuition and nothing else, and that if she left, we'd use it for something else. So there was a conversation of them possibly using it for something else. But what does that mean if she left? Is taking a gap year not a normal thing to do? Is exploring your options outside of college not like a normal thing to do? Like, why did they... Why did they just go, oh, she's not going to college ever again, so we're just going to spend it on the kitchen remodel? Like, really? If I'm just thinking from like my own standpoint, that if that were me, if like, and I think about it from like the kid's perspective, the 20-year-old's perspective of like, that would be like a stab to the fucking gut, that it's like, that was supposed to be for me, that was supposed to be something nice you were doing for me, and then you used it for your own selfish purposes and almost like against her, because the minute she tried anything different, you spent the money. Like, I always told my parents that I wish we had had a college fund. It would have made my sister and I's life going to college so much easier. We don't. And so I've always said, like, and Perry and I have talked about this, that he didn't have a college fund either. He has student loans, but we talked about how we would love to have a college fund for our future kids someday. And like, you start it like right when they're born, you know? And, but that it's like that it's for them to have if they want to go to college. And if they don't want to go to college, then good on you. I'll hold on to it for a little while, and we can use it when you want to buy a house, or we can use it when you want to start a business, or we can use it, you know, when any like big major, you know, life things that cost a lot of money. That's what we'll use it for if you don't want to go to college. But if you want to go to college, here you go, here's your money for college. But if my kid said I wanted to take a gap year, if my kid said I, you know, don't think college is for me, I'd say, cool. Then I'll hold on to it until we know what you want to use it for. That is, of course, that in my opinion, that's their money. You did that for the kid. That's the kid's money. And I don't mean that they get to decide they want to go, like, I don't know, on a shopping spree with it. That like they get to decide whatever they want to do with it. But that's not your money to spend. You get to help them figure out the best course of action to spend it on. That's what I mean by like down payment on a house, or, you know, they have this idea they want to start their own business. It's seed money, you know, and even if the business doesn't work out, at least they tried it. It's like, I am not using my degree. I'm glad that I got my degree, but I'm not using it currently. And it was like one of the biggest like mental health strains of my entire existence, like some of the worst years of my life in college. And Perry was in college for a little bit, but he dropped out. He never graduated. And so he doesn't have a degree. And I consider us both quite successful without using our degrees. I started my business. He is a shop foreman, very successful, makes a lot of money. And both of my parents got master's degrees. Neither of them are using them. And both of Perry's parents, neither of them got degrees, and they're very successful. So it's like, I am truly of the mindset that you do not have to go to college. It's great. There are some careers that require you to go to college. And if that's the career you want, then amazing, fantastic. If you want to go to college, amazing, fantastic. If you want to start a business instead, if you want to, I don't know, just like try and figure out what the fuck you want to do with your life for a little bit, fair, you know? That like when I started college, I started as a criminal justice major. I wanted to like work for the FBI. I wanted to be, I did like an internship at the FBI, and had this dream of working with sex crimes. And that's what my very first year of school was criminal justice. And then realized that that's not what I wanted to do, took a year off of school, and then went back and did video production. And that's what my degree is in. And then 4 weeks before I graduated, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do my business full time. I randomly started this business in school and whatever. When I first started college, I would have never guessed that this is where I would be today. So like, I think that her like time off was her trying to figure her shit out. And the fact that you went, oh, she didn't immediately like go to college and immediately stay in college and whatever, let's spend all of her money. Bullshit. I think, yes, you are definitely the asshole. It's like, that would just make me feel so like, I can't even think of the, like, betrayed almost. Like, I can't think of quite the word that would make that child feel, but it's like, ugh, how heart-wrenching would that have been? I don't know. That, like, I get they said if you leave, we'd use it for something else. So I assume that means that the daughter knew that if she dropped out of college, they'd use it for something else, which I think is shitty. But she knew that going in and decided to do it anyway. That's your own decision. Shitty anyway, but she knew about it. So there's a little bit of gray area there. But I still think the parents are shitty. You know, it's like, I still hope, I tell Perry that I want to get our kids like a beater car when they turn 16, and I want them to have a college fund, and even if it's not like a massive college fund, just like as much as we can, just to give them a boost, whatever it might be, but they don't have to use it for college. You don't have to go to college. You don't. I know it's a very new age way of thinking, that a lot of people, that like back in the day, the only way to succeed was to go to college, and it's just not the case anymore. And so it's like, I truly, and my parents didn't pressure me to go to college either. They didn't pressure either of us to go to college. My sister is still in school to be a nurse. She's very fancy. But when I took my like year off, my mom always said, like, you don't have to go back to school, but then you need to figure out like something you want to do with your life. You need to get a job, you need to whatever, but you don't have to go back to school. And I decided to go back to school. So it's like, because it's like my other alternative was like working in retail or working in a fast food restaurant or whatever. Like I didn't have the idea or the skill or the whatever to like, I hadn't thought, even like dreamed about the idea of starting my business yet. So it didn't make sense for me, and I wanted to go to school. So that's what I did. I had this dream of being a video editor, and I needed to go to school in order to do that. So that's what I did. But it just pains me so much that this poor girl is now going to have to struggle to make it through school when her brother is getting his ways paid because you spent it on a kitchen remodel. I'd lose my shit. Let's see what everybody else says. Because there's no like official. Oh, geez. Okay, top comment says, not the asshole. The situation is harsh on your daughter, but not the asshole. She made a decision to drop out. And with that came you telling her that you'd use the remaining college fund money for something else. I also presume at the time of her dropping out, she presented her decision as permanent, since she said that college wasn't for her, meaning that you don't know how long she would have taken to go back to college if she went at all. But I thought you were bluffing is a feeble response. You don't get to use that line when you're making a life-changing decision, and given conditions by the people financing you. She just learned a very expensive lesson. I disagree. She's a kid. I don't know. That it's like, I do get the whole, like, you told her you'd use it for something else, so it's like, she sort of like, accepted those terms and conditions, but the whole idea that like, she assumed it was a permanent decision, meaning that you don't know how long she would have taken to go back to college if she went back at all. You hold on to that money until then. That I think you hold on to that money until you like go to your grave. Because then you can use that college money to help her buy a house. You can use that college money to help her do something besides college. But then she just said, like, no decision is permanent when you're 20. When you just graduated high school and you're trying to figure out what to do with your life, no decision is permanent. So it's like, and that's what you're supposed to be there for her as her parent, to help support her throughout these decisions she's making. You guys are going to have to tell me, because I completely disagree with this person. That's ridiculous. Okay, this one has a lot of awards too. OP said in the comment below, having just gotten my youngest into college, I am no longer in the parenting mood, LOL. As a parent, I'm getting odd vibes from the tone and how quickly OP moved to disappear money into a kitchen, when apparently they're behind on retirement. Can they? Sure, but as a parent, it's weird to jump to that so fast. Did OP ever investigate whether the boyfriend was abusive in any way, whether he stirred things coercively regarding her dropout, whether he was the one pressuring for access to the college account when she asked why exactly she left college to work for his family? I was in an emotionally abusive relationship at that age, and my parents don't know to this day. It took me years to even be able to label what happened as abuse because I was too young to see it for what it was. And it took me 2 years to get out. How well does OP know what happened? Actions should have consequences, and I personally don't think the parents owe their kids a college education, but it's weird to me to put a ton of work into spending years saving 5 figures to give your kid a leg up in life and then decide you're done when they make very predictably poor decisions at 19/20. There are a lot of ways to reteach responsibility, like only matching any scholarship funds they earned on their own, or only reinstating partial support after X semesters completed. I would not have saved for years and then washed my hands of helping them so fast, personally. That's kind of how I feel about it. That it's like, yes, she probably made a poor decision by dropping out of school and going to whatever, but I wouldn't even call it a poor decision because she's trying to figure her life out. And it's like, and it could have been an abusive relationship. I was in an abusive relationship when I was 16 through 18 and wasn't able to label it as abuse either for many years later. Many years, that was only like 4 years later, but still, it took like a year or two for me to figure out that was abusive. It's funny because how old am I? 23, 22, about to be 23. It like wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was a millennium ago. But it's like, I like they said, it's predictably they're going to make bad decisions. They're predictably poor decisions at 19 and 20. A lot of kids drop out of school and then go back. A lot of kids decide to take a gap year. That is completely fucking normal. I think that's completely normal, and that you hold on to that money is for her. You hold on that money until either you two agree together that you can use that money on something else, or you use it to help her buy a house, or you use it to help her start a business, or you use it to help her buy a car, or you know, whatever the fuck it might be. I'm not sure, whatever you want, whatever you guys decide on. I would not, it's like they said, I would not have washed my hands of helping them so quickly. I agree. There's not a lot there are a lot of people just like rambling. I want some more like concise answers of whether they think they're the asshole or not. Oh yeah, this one says, people don't usually just drop out. Something bad happened and she might have expected a little more parental support than F you new kitchen time. That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. The reason I dropped out of school, the reason I took a year off, was because I was in the worst mental state of my entire fucking life, where I was so depressed, I was so anxious. I had just gotten diagnosed with bipolar disorder, even though I'm not bipolar, I was misdiagnosed, but like that's how much of a shit show my mental health was. And I could not get out of bed, I could not work, I could not go to school, I could not do anything. So, and it took a year to get me back to the point where I could take one class. And that was with therapy, with meds, with whatever, for a year. Until I could get back to the point where I could take one class at a time. So, You don't know, people don't just drop out in a vacuum. Sometimes it's like, no, I'm dropping out because I truly don't feel like I want to do this anymore. That I have this other plan that I want to do. And some people have, like me, the shit show experience. And for them to, especially if they're going through something like really hard and it's F you, new kitchen time, fuck you, new kitchen, like that's awful. Let's see what OP has said. This comment says, if money is so tight for you that you can't help her because you're behind on your retirement, why did you spend 30 grand on a kitchen remodel? Was a new kitchen worth more than investing in your daughter's future, your future, and or your daughter's trust and esteem in you? Exactly. Agreed with others saying that 19-year-olds make mistakes. And it's very likely that they don't know what they're doing yet. Some do, but some need time to figure it out. You gave your kid no grace here. She learned a harsh lesson in this, but she also learned a harsh lesson about her parents too. I would not be surprised if this worsens the relationship. For the reasons above, you're the asshole. That's what I was saying. I don't think she learned a harsh lesson in money. I think she learned a harsh lesson in, wow, my parents aren't there for me. And OP responds and says, well, for context and info to others, we got the kitchen remodel while the markets were up and our portfolio was doing well. The market is fluid. I don't give a shit about what the market is doing. It's not about that. It's about your daughter. And somebody responds to that and says, I find it kind of weird you made a big deal about how the money was saved for her tuition and nothing else, and then you just spent it on something else for yourselves. This reminds me of another recent post about some parents who insisted their kid could only get their college fund if they went to a certain kind of school and studied certain approved subjects. Oh, get real, bro. I mean, let me ask you, why did you scrimp and save for so many years? I mean, obviously it was so your daughter could go to college, but why did you want your daughter to go to college? And why did you decide to fund that endeavor instead of making her pay for it herself? I assume the answer is because you wanted to give your daughter the best start in life possible. So what's changed? Why is that no longer the goal for this money? Is it simply because she defied you? Because she made a dumb decision? Is it one strike and you're out with your kids? Is it worth teaching her a lesson, not sure exactly what the lesson is, at the cost of her future, or rather for the low, low price of a brand new kitchen? If your son drops out or fails out of college or decides to take a gap year, are you going to use the rest of the fund for a new deck? Your daughter is absolutely at fault too, and I can imagine how maddening and frustrating it is for you to watch your daughter do something so dumb, but come on, she's 20. I don't even think she's that dumb. She was just exploring. Anyway, the problem is with how insanely expensive college is in the US, what should have been a minor bump in the road of life has now turned into a bit of a sinkhole. The world is already unforgiving enough. I would hope that parents would be the ones to offer solace and help and grace to their kids, not to pounce on their mistakes for your own gain. That is what I fucking said. Oh, and this is the comment that they were talking about in that other one that says, I assume you're a kid based on some of the questions and assumptions in your post. Having just gotten my youngest into college, I am no longer in the parenting mood. LOL. I assume you're a kid based off of some of the questions and assumptions in your post. I am no longer in the parenting mood. I fucking hate this guy. Oh, I fucking hate this parent. Oh, I fucking hate this guy. Oh, that makes me so angry. Come on, man. You're not in the mood to parent? And all of the valid reasons that they just laid out? And you go, oh, you sound like you're a kid. Bitch. I will fucking fight you. I will fly to wherever you are and I will fight you. That is so annoying. Your poor daughter. I hope she never speaks to you again. That is so fucked. Anyway, we're gonna leave off on that very angry note. That pisses me off. But no, they are the asshole, completely. 100%. Yes, you're the asshole. Fuck you and the hill you die on. I can't. Anyway, let's move on. Let's everybody move on with their day, huh? So, that's it. I gotta go, but I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, October 19th. It's 12:24. I'm just starting my day. I had a very slow start to my morning. I slept in really late for some freaking reason. I must have been really tired, but I'm glad I did because I feel good now. So I obviously must have needed it. And yeah, so we're gonna get started. Yesterday was a long freaking day for me. I did some work in the morning and then went to therapy. And then on the way home from therapy, there was just like traffic upon traffic upon traffic upon construction upon whatever. It took me forever to get home. And on the way home, I had to stop by UPS and return some Amazon things and then go to Walmart because we forgot like kitty litter and stuff with our Walmart order and we needed it. So I had to go and get us kitty litter, and then Perry needed a new mug, so I like a new travel mug for work, so I grabbed him a new travel mug. And by the time I got home like 5 seconds before he walked in the door, and I was like, damn it. Oh, that was such a long day. I usually try to like, you know, get home and get things like cleaned up and stuff before he gets home, but not today. I don't know, like get all of my stuff done before he gets home. I still needed to do payroll and like it was a lot. So, and I had a massive fucking headache. Like while I was sitting in traffic, I got this like massive fucking headache and it was driving me crazy. So yeah, it was kind of a long day and, but I feel better today. I slept good, so I feel better today. And, I got a lot of stuff to do. So today is just a work from home day. Tomorrow I think the plan is that I'm going to go see my employee tomorrow. I need to check with her, but I think that's the plan. So today, what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I have some things that I want to film today. So I think I'm looking at my lovely to-do list. I think what I'm going to do today is film the post review for Pride. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so that I can post that either today or tomorrow. And then I need to get started making some candles. I got a lot of candles to make. I'm thinking I'm just going to start with 5 of each. So I have 2 scents right now, which is watermelon and s'mores. I just picked some of our most popular, some of our best-selling scents in the putty and decided to start with those. I will be adding more, but I figured we'd just do this just to start. And they're available in Cottonwick and Woodwick. So 5 watermelon Cottonwick, 5 watermelon Woodwick, 5 s'mores Cottonwick, 5 s'mores Woodwick, and just see what happens. So yeah, that's sort of the plan for today. Candles kind of take a minute. They're a little bit labor intensive. So, and just like time consuming. So hopefully I'll be able to get at least like a good portion of those done. But I have Friday as well if I need to continue working on them. So, yeah, that should be it. I don't have any crafting to share with you because I haven't done any. I really need to like do some, you know what I mean? I did like a tiny bit of stitching last night, but not enough to like bring it in here and show you. So yeah, I just am gonna have a Reddit story for you today because I don't have anything else. Yeah, that really is it. I really want to diamond paint again. Ooh, shit. Ooh, this might be good. Ooh, this might be good. This is from True Off My Chest. It was posted 8 hours ago and it has 10,000 upvotes. And it says, I saw my husband and my sister naked in my kitchen. Oh. Oh, fuck. All right, let's read it. It's a little short, but it's okay. It says, I can't move, and if I move, it becomes real, and I have to accept what I saw and think of what's next. I came home from work early and saw my sister's car, thinking maybe she was dropping off some food from her job, but no. I walk in and see my husband and sister naked in my kitchen, the kitchen I paid for. As soon as I registered what I saw, I got into my car and left. I kept driving, just driving, until I found the hotel I'm at now. I don't want to believe it. I don't know what to do. My sister, my only family, and my best friend, the one who's supposed to be there for me and support me, my husband, my person, my other half, the one who's supposed to love and respect me, the two most important people in my life have ruined everything. I've blocked them both on my phone. I don't want to hear any of the bullshit excuses they'll come up with. I don't want to confront this. I want to go back to this morning when everything was fine. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, boy. That really sucks. So I assume they weren't just like, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be any better, but I assume they weren't just like standing there naked in the kitchen. Like that means they were fucking, yes? That sucks. There's not like much. The throwaway is called Cheaters Suck 12. This was definitely a throwaway. And there's one comment from OP. So the comment is the quote, my only family part is what hit me hard. I'm so sorry, OP. And they respond and say, yeah, we cut contact with our abusive parents 7 years ago. Thought we were supposed to have each other's backs always. That is so fucked to do that to your sister. That is so fucked. It's fucked from the husband's side. It's fucked from the sister's side. It's fucked from everywhere. And that's really, really sad. Oy, oy, oy. Like, I don't even know what I would do. Because I have a sister. I have a fiance. Okay? Like, that I can't even fucking imagine. Of course, I know my sister is listening to this, and the idea of her and my fiance together makes her want to throw up. I know that. But, but just like to try to put myself in their shoes, like, that's insane. That's insane. Top comment is surprisingly very practical. Just from a banking standpoint, file legal documents intending to separate, open an individual bank account, start your paychecks going there after you filed for separation papers. I don't know what state you are in, but keep everything as clear-cut as possible so there won't be issues down the road. Deal with them with your head held as high as you can. Don't take their shit and cry when no one is watching. In front of them, be the badass that you are. They are the lowest of the low, and they will prey on your perceived weakness. Best of luck, OP. Oh, that's so awful. Oh, that's so awful. It's like it didn't, I mean, of course she's in like such shock. When was she writing this? I came home from work early. Yeah, it seems like this happened like yesterday. That like, you know, that like this, because it was posted 8 hours ago. So this happened like last night, you know? That's crazy, first of all. Second of all, that it's so soon for her to be thinking about like, oh my God, am I going to leave my husband? Like, how do I deal with the legal actions of that? And like, blah, 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 blah. And then what do I do with my sister? It's like, she says she doesn't even want to think about it. Doesn't even want to move, or it becomes real. Like, oh, I feel so bad. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. But I do hope that she leaves, because fuck. That's insane. And also, I want to hear the story of how they started fucking each other and what in the hell is going on. Jesus. Anyway, that's it. Short one for today. That's it. I don't have anything else to tell you guys. So, I hope y'all are having a great day. Good time crafting. Yes? Good, I'm glad. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Hey everybody, good morning. Let me get my computer up and running real quick. It is Thursday. What day is it? October 20th. I thought I was going to be going to my employees today, but I am not. So, because she said that like her throat's kind of sore and like she's just not feeling great. And so I was like, fine by me. I don't want to catch nothing. I don't want to catch a cold. So, and if she's feeling sick, you know, whatever. So, it's like I'm just barely getting over me being sick. Like I definitely don't want to catch whatever you have. So, fair enough. And so I'm here today. So I am going to make some candles. So I started yesterday, and I made 4 of the, cause I'm doing 4, 4, 4, and 4. So I made 4 of the s'mores with a cotton wick, yesterday. And so then I need 4 s'mores with a wood wick, 4 watermelon with a wood wick, and 4 watermelon with a cotton wick. So I have 12 more to make today. It takes a lot longer than like one would think it does. So, I need like all the time that I can today to kind of like get that done. So, but I'm excited. I want to get them done. I'm excited about them. So, and the plan is still for them to release on Monday, but I'll have 4 of each. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16 in total. And then I have more jars and more wax coming already so that I can make more if they sell out. We'll see. I just posted yesterday, if you haven't seen it already, my post review of Pride. So if you wanted to go see that, that is up on my channel. It's the video right before this one. And did a lot of other like marketing, social media stuff yesterday because I need to get back into it, and that's it. So today I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I'm gonna go get my butt in the kitchen and make some candles. That's the plan. So, oh, and I wanted to show you, I did do one section of my diamond painting last night. So I know it's just one section, but I thought I would give you a little update, a little show and tell. This, for those of you who don't know, this is what I'm working on right now. This is called Winter by Maria Abigail, and it's from the company, that's what it's called, Treasure Studios Art, or TSA. And this kit, I don't think they license this artist anymore because none of her work is available on TSA website anymore. So I don't think that you can still get this kit, which is sad because I want you guys to be able to buy it if you want to, but also like kind of cool because I have a kit that nobody else can get anymore, which is kind of fun. So, but this is what she looks like, and this is it's a 45 by 60, and it's square drills. And this is what I've done so far. It's just this bottom row, and this was the section I did yesterday. So it's going really well. The drills are popping only just a little bit. So no drills have like fallen out or anything crazy like that, which is a good sign. But every time I pull it out, like what I'm doing right now, I have to pop a few of them back in, which is a little annoying, but it's not like awful. So like that one, get in there. There we go. So it's going really well. It definitely, as you can tell from maybe you can't tell from far away, but from close up, as you can see, it is definitely like an automated computer rendering. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just usually prefer like hand rendering. I usually like how the rendering comes out a little bit better. That's just my personal preference. So it's like this is very confetti heavy. So it takes a long time to do each section because you have to change colors a lot. But it's from far away, from here, it looks beautiful. But when you go really close up, I know you're not supposed to look at diamond paintings really close up, but you can tell how confetti heavy it is. But still really fun to work on. I am in the process of doing my own diamond paintings, selling my own diamond paintings, and I have reached out to, I'm at the like very early stages where like I'm getting samples from a couple manufacturers to see the quality that I like. So like I said, very early stages, but my plan is to hand render all of my diamond paintings. I have the software for it. So my plan is to hand render all of them myself. So you get that really like amazing quality that I love so much. So that's my plan, but nonetheless, I still do computer rendered diamond paintings, so there's nothing wrong with them, just not my preference. So, but this is coming out really nice and I'm very excited. This is my first time ever doing a Treasure Studios art piece, and so far it's pretty good. So far I like the quality, so I can see why other people like them so much. It is very interesting working with this adhesive though, because it's not, oh, I can't freaking remember what they call it. They call it like mounting tape or mounting adhesive or something like that. It's not double-sided adhesive and it's not poured glue. It's something different. So it's been very interesting, and the adhesive works really, really well. I like it. So yeah, very happy with it so far. And I'll definitely be doing a post review on this kit when I'm done to give you my full overall opinion of my experience with it. But I just had to talk about my diamond paintings a little bit because I'm so freaking excited about it. They of course will all be licensed. I want to hand render them all. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a good time. So that's that. Let's do a Reddit story, shall we? Reddit. I have to... Never mind. I thought I saw, sorry for the long ass pause. Jeez, thought I saw a good story but I wasn't sure. So I wanted to read it just like a tiny bit to make sure that it was good or not, and it's not. So I'm gonna do a different one. It's just the title was very grabbing and I was like, ooh, this either could be really good or it can be like really stupid, and it was really stupid. So this is Am I the Asshole? It was posted 22 hours ago and it has 14,000 upvotes. They've already deemed this person the asshole, so I'm interested to see. My girlfriend and I have been dating for a year and we want to move in together. We want a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment or townhouse near my work. I'm a second-year pathology resident and my residency is 5 years long. She works from home and wants an office. She also makes $120K and I only make $68K. Only make $68K, please. So our rent is $1,800 a month plus utilities, and she wants to go half on both rent and utilities, so we both pay roughly $1,000 a month. Because she is using one of the rooms as her office, I feel like she should pay more, so I should pay $700 and she should pay $1,300. She thinks even if she's using an extra room because living near the hospital would be expensive, I should pay half because we would get a cheaper place if I didn't live near work. She thinks it's because we are paying more to live near my work, so I don't have to pay for gas. I should pay half for rent. I find she's being selfish because she makes much more than me. And once I complete my residency, I can easily make $350K a year or more. You guys are going to be like fucking rolling. You're already like, your household income is already like rolling in it. So chill. But according to her, it's not fair for her to wait 3 years to potentially get paid back because we could break up and she would have subsidized me. Jeez, I couldn't say that fucking word. To me, if she isn't willing to pay a bit more to put some skin in the game, she's being a gold digger and waiting for me to bank without giving anything in the first place. We argued about this a few times, and I just want to know if I'm crazy in my thinking or she's being selfish. So they deemed him the asshole. And I think I agree. Because she does have a point that we'd have a cheaper place if we didn't live near the hospital. But also, like, y'all are a partnership. And so, like, this shouldn't be, oh, because you need this, da-da-da, because I need this, da-da-da, you know? That it's like you guys are doing this together. And she probably, you know, she was happily willing to go for the more expensive apartment because that was the location you needed. And then you go, actually. And granted, let's just go off of, let's just compare to my current living situation, okay? Perry makes about $85,000 a year. I make, on my best, I make $40,000 or $45,000 a year. So he makes double what I do, which is about, 68 and 120. She makes about double what he does. And so it's a very similar situation. But their overall, like, household income is much higher than Perry and I's. Because 120 plus, that's verging on 200K, and we're in like the early 100Ks. So, and Perry and I's mortgage is $2,400 a month plus, and then utilities and groceries and, you know, all the other good stuff. And Perry and I split it. We never really came up with a percentage, but when we lived in the apartment and I was in school and could barely pay anything, he paid the majority of it, and I paid about $200 a month because that was all I could afford. And then when we moved into the house, I paid as much as I could afford and he paid the rest of it. So like as much as was reasonable for me, not like all the money that I had in my bank, but like as much as was a reasonable amount for me to pay, and then he paid the rest of it. And it ended up, I'm trying to think, so I pay $850 a month for our mortgage and he pays $1,550? Is that what the number is? I don't know how to do math. Hold on. Hold on, I'm pulling out a calculator. 2,400 minus 850. Yes, 1,550. I was right. But he also makes double what I do. So it's like, I don't know what percentage that is, but it's because he makes double what I do. But that's the only bill that we split like percentage wise. Otherwise we split everything else 50-50. All of our utilities are 50-50, groceries is 50-50, things for the house is 50-50. There are a lot of times that he will pay for things himself because he has the extra disposable income and I simply do not. So like if he wants, I'm trying to think of the example. That I buy like little things around the house that I can afford. Like we needed a new doorbell, I bought that. You know, if we need a new shower head, whatever. And he buys like big ticket items that we've been talking about getting a hot tub, and we would get like a used one that probably needed to be a little fixed. So like a couple $100, he would pay that probably because I can't afford that. So it's like, it's like you balance it out, and then sometimes he pays for date nights, sometimes I pay for date nights. He usually pays more for date nights because he makes more money, but we split everything else 50-50. It's like you come up with this balance and it's never gonna be completely even. It's that like there have been times that I remember when we were buying the house, he didn't have the money to pay at the time for the inspection, and I did. And so I paid the inspector, and then he paid me back like his part of it a couple months later. Or like we needed something and he was really like last minute on his credit card and like didn't want to spend anymore, and so I bought it for us. You know, it's like you go back and forth. It's never going to be 50-50, but you pick up where you pick each other up where you need to be, and you split it as evenly as you can. And then we also have said that we'll adjust things as, you know, as my business grows and I make more money, or, you know, whatever the situation is, that there's always room for adjustment. Same way I went from paying $200 a month to paying $850 a month because I started making more money. It's so I can see where it's like them splitting 50-50 might not be completely fair because she makes so much more than he does, but then the trade-off needs to be that like she always pays for date nights for them, or she always buys things for around the house, or, you know, you come up with some other agreement if you're really set on the 50-50. But I think his argument should have been, we do the 700, 1300, I don't even know what percentage that is either. I don't know. That we do the 1700, 1300 until I make more, because you make double what I do. I think that would have been a better argument than, oh, you're using an extra room, therefore you should pay more. Like that, this is your collective apartment. This is ridiculous. So, I don't know. I'm not mad at, I'm mad at his reasoning, but I'm not mad at the fact of it wanting it to not be exactly 50-50 because she makes double what he does. But because like if I had to pay the same amount for the mortgage that Perry does, we wouldn't live here. I can't afford that. And he knew that. And it's like, that's the thing is he's like, as long as you contribute something, then you just contribute as much as you can, and we'll figure it out. And because it's like, he knew I was in school, and he knew that he signed up for that when we moved in together. And so like, you guys both make such a good amount of money, $700 a month on $68,000 a year, that you could, even $1,000 a month on $68,000 a year, you can definitely live off of. You can definitely do that. It's not like going to strain your pocketbook. So I don't know why he's making such a big fuss out of it, especially when he says, oh, I can easily make $350K a year or more. That means you're only paying this amount for like 3 years, and then you got $350K a year. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why you're making a big deal out of this. I think it's if it feels really unfair for you that you guys are paying the same amount when she makes double what you do, I can understand that argument. But otherwise, suck it up, because you're fine. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit of like, suck it up because you're going to be fine. Top comment says, you're the asshole. You're not married. You should be splitting rent 50-50. Also, in this situation, you're the gold digger. I don't think he's a gold digger. I think he's dumb. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a gold digger. I think he's dumb. I also think the whole you're not married, so things should be 50-50 is also dumb. Because it's like, no, you split based off of what you can afford, and you make the agreement together off of what you can afford. But it's like, no, Perry and I came up with our dollar amount because we went into buying a house and I said, here's what I can afford monthly. And he said, okay, here's what I can afford monthly. And we went, great, that's $2,400. Let's go find a house that's $2,400 or less. You know what I mean? Or whatever the number was. I don't fucking remember what the number was, but that's where we ended. Is I said, here's how much I can contribute. And he said, great, here's how much I can contribute. And we added them together and bought a house. You know what I mean? So you do what you can. So I don't think the whole, like, you have to split 50-50 if you're not married. Like, I think that's stupid. But she does make double what you do. So, like, maybe it's fair to split them with a percentage. But also, neither of you are going to go bankrupt on $1,000 a month. So, like, what does it really matter? That's what I mean, is that if Perry and I split this house 50-50, I would be bankrupt. So it's not fair to ask me to do that. And yet in their situation, if they split 50-50, they're both going to be fine. So that's why I'm like, why are you making such a big deal about it? Let me see. There's a lot of people responding to that comment. Hold on, I have to scroll down really far. This comment says, "You're the asshole," and she's absolutely right that it's unfair to wait 3 years to potentially get paid back because you're not guaranteed that salary. Also, calling her a gold digger while also wanting her to pay more. She's asking you to pay half while she pays half. The only one asking for someone to pay more than half is you. Who's the gold digger? It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Like, that's also what I didn't understand. That gold digger comment. What did it say? To me, if she isn't willing to pay a bit more to put some skin in the game, she's being a gold digger and wanting for me to make bank without giving anything in the first place. I don't fucking like that. It's so, again, you're a partnership. This is not like, oh, you put more skin in the game and blah, 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 blah. This is like, you guys are doing this together. And so you need to chill out with who's the gold digger and who's not the gold digger. You guys are a team. Holy shit. Oh my God. That's so ridiculous. That's like, when Perry and I bought this house, as much as I like hate to say it, he pretty much bought this house by himself. I did do half the down payment. I did do, my credit score went into our loan, that I pay my mortgage every month, that like, this is definitely like, I definitely contributed, and yet we wouldn't have been able to get this house without his income. And his income was basically all that mattered because I was self-employed and less than a year into business. And so I didn't have any income to show for, according to loan people. And so we bought this house solely off of his income. And so my name is on the loan, my name is on the deed, but he kind of bought this house by himself and I just like contributed. But my name's on it, so, but like I definitely could not have done this without him, obviously. And so, but whenever I say that, he looks at me like I'm crazy and he's like, "What are you talking about? We bought this house." Because it doesn't matter that he was the one that was the financial first step or whatever the fuck, I don't know how to say it. It doesn't matter that he carried the financial burden of it or whatever. It's still our house. We still bought it together. I still pay my share. Just because the loan doesn't recognize my income doesn't mean that it's any less my house as it is his. And so that's why every time I say it, he looks at me like I'm crazy. And he's like, "What are you talking about? We bought a house. This is our house. We bought it together." And it's like, that's where you're lacking that mindset with these people. Ridiculous. Let's see if there's any more good comments. Let's see if there's any comments from OP, actually. It was 22 hours ago. Yes, "You're the asshole. She makes nearly twice what you make, but now she's a gold digger." And OP responds and says, "I'm going to make 3 times her salary in 3 to 4 years." So what? And then they respond to that and say, in 3 to 4 years, you're going to take on a higher portion of the bills given you earn more, or does equitability only apply when it favors you? And OP responds and says, yes, I will once I make more, which is why I expect her to do it for me now. But there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that in 3 to 4 years, you're going to make 3 times what she does. And maybe in 3 to 4 years, she'll make the same amount as you. Also, like, you have no idea. So you can't base your decision today off of what might happen 3 to 4 years from now. You have to base it off your current situation. And in my opinion, your only legitimate argument for this current situation is that currently she makes double what you do. And so maybe you percentage out the rent a little bit because she makes double what you do. Or you can both very easily pay $1,000 a month for rent, and so you just chill. It's not that big of a deal. You don't need to make this whole thing out of it when you both can easily pay that. It's ridiculous. Like, chill. Okay, anyway, that's my advice to them, is chill. It's like, if it were me, I would say, like, you know, I'm happy to pay 50-50, but I'm just letting you know I'm going to have a little less disposable income, and so it might fall a little heavier on you. Just like any like random fun things, just so you know. That's probably what, and see if they were cool with that. That's what I would say. And I would say, if you're not cool with that, then we need to split the percentage so that we have the same like percentage of disposable income, like whatever it is. I don't know what the math is. Then you split it in a way that like makes sense, that balances. That's how I would approach it. And so I think they're making so much too big of a deal out of this. Anyway, that is it. I'm going to go make some candles. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, October 21st. It is actually 4:29 p.m. and I got to move a little bit because this light is driving me insane. It's p.m. so we're in the afternoon here. My day is done. But I've been gone all day, so I wanted to film this really quick before Perry gets home, and so that I can get it like exported and rolling. But yesterday I got all the candles done. There are going to be a little less quantity in terms of wood wicks than there are cotton wicks, because I ran out. I use a slightly different kind of wax for the wood wicks than I do for the cotton wicks, because it's the only wax I have found that makes the wood wicks crackle the way they're supposed to. It's been a pain in my side. And I ran out of that wax. I thought I had enough, I didn't. So I'll have a limited amount of wood wicks, and I have a really good amount of cotton wicks. But all of them are done and made and beautiful and ready to be released on Monday. So I'm very excited. Monday, when the rest of my restock goes live, the candles will go live as well. So I'm very excited about that. So all of that's done. And then today, my mom and I went jean shopping because I have a singular pair of jeans that has like rips all through like the inside of the thigh that can't be fixed. So, I needed a new pair because I have a singular pair of jeans and it's ripped. So we went to the Buckle, and that's usually, since I was 16, 15, whatever, that has been like my go-to place to get jeans. And I haven't ever really had problems. And they've been my go-to place to get jeans because you can pick much easier the specific hip size and inseam, which is a big deal for me. They've always been known as a shop that you can go to shop at for really tall girls or really short girls, because they have all of the inseams and the sizes and whatever. And I've always had a fantastic time being able to find jeans that are long enough for me. And because I'm 5'11", for those of you who don't know, so finding jeans that are the right size in the hips and the right size in the length is very difficult, because it's a bitch and a half. But today it was still a bitch and a half, because for some reason they were like I wanted skinny jeans, and they were like pretty much all sold out in my inseam length in skinny jeans, and it was like company wide. They were sold out, so you couldn't order them, you couldn't back order, you couldn't whatever. They were just like dunzos. And they were like, if you want boot cut, we have a ton of boot cut options. I was like, that's not helpful. I don't want boot cut. So we had to like dig and search and dig and search and dig and search, and finally found a brand of jeans that, even though the inseam length wasn't technically long enough, it still fit me. And I don't know why that's the case, but that's what happened. I tried them on and went, wow, they're long enough. I'm shocked. And so there was a pair in store that was a 34, because I was like in between a 34 and a 36 and wasn't quite sure. And so they said, like, you can purchase them now and like walk around the mall for an hour and see how you feel. And then if you want to do the 36, you can come back and exchange them for the 36. But then we had to order the 36. So I could walk out of there with the 34s, but not with the 36s. So I walked around for a little bit and was like, they're just a little too small. I think I would be more comfortable if it was a 36. And because we were going to see if they would like stretch out a little bit, and then like not as much as I needed it to. And so I wanted to make sure they were really comfortable. So we went with the 36 and got them ordered. So they'll be here. We're going to go to the store. We ordered them to be sent to the store in like 3 to 5 business days or something. So we'll go try those on and make sure that they fit good and stuff. And yeah, it's just like, I've never had at the Buckle, I've never had that much of a hard time finding jeans. Like everywhere else in the world, I expect to not be able to find jeans that fit me, but I've always been able to find them at the Buckle. And the poor woman who was helping us felt so bad that she was like, we've always been known as the place that you can come for if you're really tall or really short. And so the fact that we don't have anything for you is really upsetting. But thankfully we did find something that I think is going to work for me. So it's going to be okay. But it was still just like, oh, I should never have this hard of a freaking time. Come on, man. But it'll be okay. So, and then I just got home. So, Perry and I are going to go on our date night tonight, and that's about it. So let's do a Reddit story, because I don't have anything to show you. We have our engagement party this weekend, and I was very excited about it. I still am, but, it must just be like a busy month for my family and stuff, because like we invited, all of the normal people, all of my family that I would invite to stuff like that. And, most of them couldn't show up. And so we tried like a different weekend, and there were still like scheduling difficulties with people and whatever. It's like, I've never had this hard of a time, like getting everybody in the same room. And so we had to just kind of go with it. And there will still be like 8 people there or something, I think, like a couple, and then Mom and John and me and Perry. So 8. But it's like, it was like, I know for a fact that it's not like a malicious thing by any means, but I was like, nobody can come to my engagement party. That's kind of sad, that like, I know they're not doing it maliciously, but it is just like damn, that kind of sucks. But it'll still be fun. It'll still be a good time. There will still be, a couple people there. So it'll still be really good. But I was like, damn, nobody can. I was like, everybody better come to my wedding, or I swear to God. But I know they will. So it's okay. Let's see. So that's happening this weekend, and that'll be fun, and then we'll see. This one has like a shit ton of upvotes, so let's read this. This is from True Off My Chest. It was 23 hours ago. It has a tons of awards and a ton of upvotes. And it says, I don't like the relationship between my husband and his, quote, work wife, and neither does her partner. Fuck the whole work wife thing. No. But, so there's a story, and then there's like a PS at the top that doesn't really say much except for I will talk to my husband tonight, maybe tomorrow, and I will update about my situation. So we'll see if there's an update because it was 23 hours ago, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll see. It says, English is not my first language. I just want to put it out there because I see how people are brutal when grammar is bad. I'm a beautician, that's how you say it, female 35, married to an engineer, male 34. He is very intelligent and I'm always proud of him. He has a colleague who is also very intelligent, female 31, obviously that he is close to. Before the events that led me to this moment of seeking help online, I never had any reason to be uncomfortable about his relationship with her. I always felt secure in our relationship. We're both independent people who would just leave if we weren't happy together. We have been together for 5 years, married for 1.5. My husband and I were on a 3-day trip with my husband's colleagues, a tradition at his work every autumn. It must be like a work bonding trip that you can bring your wives on. That's kind of fun. We came home yesterday morning and I had a bad taste in my mouth after this trip. It felt like me and the colleague's partner, male 35-ish, were the third and fourth wheel to my husband and his colleague during the entire trip. During dinner the second night, I was sitting silently playing with my food after almost 2 days of being ignored. My partner was also the partner was also silent at first, but we started talking a bit, asking each other generic questions. The colleague who was in a very loud argument with my husband, more of a back and forth teasing, suddenly turned around and asked what we two, partner and me, were up to talking quietly. Her partner said that we were just getting to know each other since they, husband and colleague, were too busy talking about things we knew nothing about. The colleague laughed and said, "What would we discuss with you, makeup and the Kardashians?" And she nodded towards me. "We have more intelligent things to discuss." I was dumbfounded. I guess because I'm a beautician, I can only discuss Kim Kardashian. I mean, any outsider to any profession would be dumb listening into two people discussing work-related subjects. And they could have been as I can't fucking read. They could have been as ignorant if I was talking to my coworkers about my job. My husband just laughed and the partner said, "That's rude." I said nothing because I had a distaste for the whole situation. Your husband laughed? It had to be the colleague's partner to say that's rude instead of your husband? Fuck. I said nothing because I had distaste for the whole situation. On the last day of the trip, I spent most of my time with the partner. I ignored the other two. This is fucked, man. Yesterday evening, the partner DM'd me and wanted to talk about our SOs. He said that he has been feeling uncomfortable about his girlfriend's relationship with my husband and that he went through her messages. He sent me screenshots of my husband and his colleague, where my husband and his colleague are basically calling me stupid and shallow and laugh about it. Well, mostly the colleague saying mean things that my husband laughing and adding in. Sometimes he would say something like, "No, I love her," about me. And she would answer, "You only like banging hot, dumb chicks." And they laugh. Fuck this. Oh my God. Okay. When the texts aren't about my stupidity, they're about work. And in one of them, my husband wrote, "I love your brain," to her. Oh God. I started crying when I saw the screenshots. Never have I felt so self-conscious about my brains or profession. I love my job and I thought my husband loved it too, or at least didn't have this disdain for it. I've been my own boss for over 10 years and I make close to 6 figures. I never thought of myself as a dumb person. I like to think that I'm fairly well informed and have passion for history, languages, cultures, etc. But yes, I am not an engineer working on some design for artificial hearts. Still, the text complimenting the colleague hurt me more than the ones making fun of me. I don't know why. I know exactly why. I think my husband and his colleague are out of line at best and, well, probably screwing. I still don't know what to do. The last thing I want to be is the insecure wife. If he isn't happy with me, why is he here? Oh my God. That's the end of the post, by the way. Oh my God. That is so fucked up. That is so fucked up. I very thankfully don't really have to worry about this because Perry works with literally only men, and there are a few women that they're called like all the guys call them like the safety girls, that they're part of the safety department, and they are based out of Oklahoma, and they come to do like safety checks like once a year. So there are girls that work there, but he sees them very rarely. And his day-to-day work is done with men. So it's not even like a thought in my head, but even if he did work with women, I don't have like they said at first, like I've never had a reason to have a problem with their relationship. It's a working relationship. It's whatever, like it was so fucked actually, because in the past when I was in high school, and no, I was a little out of high school. Both. I was just getting out of high school. I worked at H&M, and it is still, out of all the companies I've worked for, it is to this day like my favorite company I've ever worked for. They're really fantastic. And I was working at H&M, and there are guys that work there. About, I don't know, say there was a staff of 15, about 5 or 6 of them were men. But they were all it just so happened to be, and I guess, maybe it's because it was a fashion store. I don't fucking know. Who cares? I'm not going to make stereotypes like that. That they were all very openly gay. They would tell you they were gay. They were all very openly gay. But I would, they were nice. And so I would talk to them, and like, we were friends, and like, it wasn't that big of a deal. They were all gay anyway. But my boyfriend at the time would get like fucking heated. That there was one, not like overly heated, but like a little bit like pissy, that like there was this one guy that worked at H&M that I was really close with, and his name was Franklin. And he was so obvious. He was so, not like so obviously gay, but like he talked about finding a boyfriend all the time. So he was definitely gay. Like, it wasn't even just me like speculating. Like, he had told me over and over and over again that he was gay and he wanted to find a boyfriend, and like, can I help him find a boyfriend, and like whatever the fuck. There was zero, he was not interested in women even a little bit. And so I would come home and say, oh, Franklin said this and Franklin said that. And he would be like, oh, you're just talking to a guy, you're talking to Franklin. And I was like, he's gay! What is the threat? What is the threat here? And even so, like, you don't even trust me with a gay man? Like, what in the hell? So it was like, this is giving me like that same kind of, but not the same kind of like she's being super insecure, but it's like, it just reminded me of that. But this is like so fucked. I don't think she's being overly insecure or like that kind of wife or whatever. What does she say? She said, I don't want to be, the last thing I want to be is the insecure wife. You're not being insecure. You're calling out what's right fucking in front of you and what's not okay. The fact that both of your guys' partners got like completely ignored this entire trip, so much to the point that you two ended up hanging out together because you were being so left out, and then her saying something like that in front of your face. What would we discuss with you? Makeup and the Kardashians? Like, what is that about? You think you're so like, that's so like pick me girl, like, ugh, what is that? It drives me insane. And the whole, you only like banging hot, dumb chicks. Like, what is the matter with you? What is the absolute matter with you? And the fact that he goes along with all of this, that's, the worst part is not the colleague, actually. The worst part is the husband that goes along with all of this and laughs along and doesn't stand up for his wife. He is so fucking annoying. He is so, it's like, this could totally be a deal breaker for me. If Perry didn't like stand up for me in situations like that, or like I stood or like laughed along with it or like whatever, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I would be furious. Furious. What the hell? Like, oh my God. And oh my God. Like, I would be, if I were her, I would be heavily considering divorce. Because what the fuck? It's like, he at least really likes her and they're having some sort of an emotional affair, or they're banging. That's my guess here. That's fucked. Top comment says, I think his work wife is very jealous of you. She's constantly putting you down to make herself look and feel better. She sounds very insecure, which is true. That's what I was going to say too. She was very quick to notice that her husband was talking to you, so she belittled you to her husband. It's sad that her husband, I guess it's just boyfriend and girlfriend though, because he said girlfriend. It's sad that her husband defending you while yours, her husband defended you while yours did not. That's what I was saying. Your husband allowing this and chiming in is disrespectful and disgusting. Completely agree. Oh, and OP even responds to that, because somebody responds also, can we get rid of this whole work wife, work husband shit? Like, it's so stupid. Don't do that. And OP responded and said, TBH, I didn't know what work wife was, that work wife was a thing until she told me she was. She told her that she was his work wife. That is so fucked. And the comment below that says, that's so cringy to tell someone she's jealous of you. She likes your husband. Whether they're banging or not, she likes her. She likes him. She likes him big time. And I don't know what this comment is responding to. It looks like it's responding to the whole, like, she said that to you? Oh my God. And she responds and says, yes, it was at the Christmas party last year and I met her for the first time. My husband introduced me to his colleagues and she introduced herself as work wife and everyone laughed. They later explained that they get along very well at work. I kind of knew that my husband got along well with his colleagues and wasn't bothered at all. I would have been bothered at the initial sentence of the work wife, because that implies wife. That implies something. That implies a romantic thing to it. That's what it's like. That's what the stupid thing is about it, is you can have your best friend at work be a girl as a guy, or you can, whatever it is. And that's not the problem. But once you turn it into, oh, that's my work wife, that implies that there's romantic feelings involved, because nobody's your wife unless romantic feelings are involved. So that would have bothered me originally. And then her story where they're at now extremely bothers me. Fuck no. Let's see. There's another original comment and not everybody just replying to the same damn thing. This comment says, the nicest thing I can say about those two is that it sounds like she has been working on him for a long time, trying to turn him against you. Sounds like it kind of worked. I would not want to be with someone who thought/talked about me like that. The fact that your husband didn't say anything when she made the Kim Kardashian comment, ... I would have gotten up and walked out. Her spouse spoke up in your defense. Your husband didn't. Disgusting. That's what I said. That's one of the worst parts of all of this. This one says, you run a small business that makes close to 6 figures. The only person in this scenario that is dumb is your husband. I hope you discover your value, my friend. Exactly. People who own businesses are not dumb. Just saying. Like, hello? It's hard work. Just coming from a small business owner myself, I'll just tell you, it's hard work. So that's completely annoying. Let's see if there's any other, let's see what we got here. I'm going to their, please be an update, please be an update. No. Damn it, there's no updates. I'm going to save this one though so that we can come back to it. Yeah, those are the comments that I read to you are the only comments that I see from her. So, like I said, this was posted 23 hours ago. She said, I will talk to my husband tonight or maybe tomorrow. I will make an update about my situation. So she said that, was it edited 23 hours ago or was it made 23 hours ago? Because she edited on this situation. I don't know, it doesn't say. But either way, I've saved it. And so hopefully there will be an update on Monday and we can read it because how fun. Okay. I'm going to go now. That is the end of Randa's Crafty vlog for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Candles are releasing on Monday. Don't forget, it's very exciting. Set your alarms. I'll be posting it on Instagram and whatever, have all the things set up. So, we should be good to go there. And, I'm trying to think. That's it. I hope you guys are having a great week and a great weekend while you're watching this. I hope you got a lot of crafting done and you're having a great time doing it. I love you all and I will see you on Monday. Bye.